Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage John Jovanovic, founder and CEO of Nova Fleet.
Good morning. If you're here in the audience today or joining us digitally, you're 80% more likely to care about environmental sustainability than any time in the history of Concordia. It's perfect because the debate over how to decarbonize the global economy is taking center stage. Every day, $3 billion goes into investment funds focused on the environment. Today alone, $5 billion of loans and bonds will be issued to back green initiatives. Now, all that's great. We actually think $16 trillion will go into decarbonizing the global economy by the end of this decade. But I'm actually not here to talk about any of the good things. I'm here to talk about the massive problems that we have that we need to be laser focused on. And the next few minutes will change your perspective on what it will actually take to realize an energy transformation. And it isn't the talking points that sound good. Now, not to depress you, the problems are real, but the solutions are attainable, and everybody in this room can play a role. Let's start talking about the problems. I think the first problem is actually best described by the chant of protesters. So who here remembers the yellow jacket or yellow vest protests in France a couple of years ago? I see hands, I see nods, perfect. Very few people remember what they were actually protesting. They were protesting modest fuel tax hikes on motorists. So in the chant that unified them all was, our president cares about the end of the world, we care about the end of the month. These are real socioeconomic realities, right? I'll give you another point. It takes 10 times more land to develop a renewable energy project than it does a hydrocarbon project. I'll say that again. It takes 10 times more land to develop a renewable energy project than it does to develop a hydrocarbon project. Now, we're also seeing groups really focused on the environment protesting the rapid deployment of solar and wind projects. And these are in blue states in America. These realities are real. Problem number two, the hidden challenges of electrifying everything, right? Let's start with critical minerals. And when I say critical minerals, I mean lithium, graphite, nickel, rare earths. They're the equipment we need to electrify our trucks, cars, buses, heavy-duty equipment is way more mineral intensive than we realize. An electric car requires 6 times more critical minerals than a regular car. An onshore wind project consumes 9 times the critical minerals than a gas-fired project. Right? The demand for these minerals, depending on the metal, is set to increase 700 to 4,000% by 2040. And the thing that probably won't surprise any of you is none of these metals are produced here in Midtown Manhattan. Right? On the supply chain side, we'll just deal with one aspect of it, batteries. The top 3 battery makers control 69% of the market globally. Problem number 3, near-term technologies. According to the International Energy Agency, in their roadmap to net zero by 2050, about 50% of the carbon reductions we're banking on are coming from technologies that aren't existent today. They're in demo or prototype stage, right? So what can everybody here do? You are decision makers, you're thought leaders. What we really need is a partnership with industry. Now, when I talk about industry, I don't mean just the energy industry, and I definitely don't mean offering opportunities for industry to greenwash its problems. I'm really talking about a broad subset of the global economy that is hard to decarbonize, or H2D. They bring us not just our fuel, they bring us our food, our shelter, our medicine, transport. They make the world go round. But more importantly, they have a hidden carbon footprint that poses a massive near-term opportunity. Cutting the fat can really move the needle and give us a belt and suspenders approach. Now, technological innovation changes the game. We've all lived it. We just need to buy runway for it to work. So let's revisit our pressing issues, right? Socioeconomic realities. Better coordination with industry can help us dodge the avoidable price hikes. And better planning with industry can help us avoid creating additional problems to deploying the renewable energy that we desperately need. On the supply chain and the critical minerals, we need to invest rapidly in near-term supply chain that's closer to home and closer to demand centers. We're living it now in COVID. Supply chain crunches are real and they hurt. And on the electrification side, we really need to make sure that the minerals that we're mining, processing, and producing are as energy efficient as possible. And we can only do that in partnership with industry. Otherwise, we run the risk of eating into all of the carbon savings that we're hoping for. And finally, on the near-term technologies, it really triangulates back to the opportunities that these H2D industries present for tech-enabled solutions, for added efficiencies, for large global carbon markets that can give us the time for the game-changing developments to unfold. Put simply, it's time to bring industry in from the cold and into the fold. And we live and breathe this every day. And it's why we've launched NovaFleet. And we're here this week and very eager and excited to continue the conversation and find ways to work together. Thank you.